Hurricane Irma is passing St. Martin, Anguilla as disaster catastrophe level 5 risk hazard for Florida. Southeast Irma first overtook Barbuda, an island of 1,600 inhabitants, with a whirlwind of at least 155 miles per hour last night on Wednesday morning. On the morning of Wednesday morning, Irma's eyes then moved through St. Martin and Anguilla, where the winds lasted 117 miles per hour. According to a rock, Hurricane Irma became the strongest typhoon in the Atlantic basin, outside the Caribbean Sea and the Gulf of Mexico, recorded on Tuesday morning. Here is what we all know about Irma right now, including its latest state, along with potential impact predictions in the United States and Caribbean islands. The latest status: Irma's time. Irma's center is located about 15 miles east of St. Martin and 15 miles west-southwest of Anguilla and is moving west-northwest about 15 miles per hour. Irma moves directly through Barbuda Island from 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time, which spans about 118 miles an hour before the temperature gauge ruptures. The pressure dropped to 916 MB before the automatic stop on the station also broke. A storm of about 8 feet was also recorded. Irma's longest winds settled at 185 miles per hour on data from NOAA aircraft and Hurricane Hunter airplanes. Based on wind speed, Irma is the strongest Atlantic storm since Wilma in 2005 and also winds up to 185 miles per hour. In addition, Irma is only the fifth Atlantic hurricane with the highest winds of 185 miles per hour or higher, said Phil Klotzbach, a tropical scientist at Colorado State University. Hurricane Allen occupied the top spot with winds of 190 miles per hour in 1980. Storm warning has been issued for the northern islands of Leeward, Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, the northern coast of the Dominican Republic, the southeastern Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands. This includes Antigua, Barbuda, Anguilla, Montserrat, St. Andrews, Kitts, Nevis, Saba, St. Eustatius, St. Martin, St. Barthélemy, Guadeloupe, Vieques and Culebra. In addition, tropical storm warnings are valid for the southern coast of the Dominican Republic from Cabo Engana to the west to the border with Haiti. Storm alarms are also valid for Haiti's northern coast from the border with the Dominican Republic to Limol St. Nicholas, Cuba from Matanzas Province east to Guantanamo and central Bahamas. The low wind pressure, average humidity and abundant ocean heat suggest that Irma will remain a strong storm category 4 or more intense in the next few days, despite some strong fluctuations. Degree can happen at this intensity. The small deviation in wind speed will not change the impact. A direct hit would be catastrophic. In the next 5 days, Irma will move to the northwest-northwest in the south of a high peak known as Bermuda High, centered on the Atlantic Ocean. U.S. forecast: see Florida, southeast near. Although it is still too early to narrow the specifics on Irma's exact path and eyewall, there is an increased risk of major storms in at least a portion of South Florida, including the Florida Keys, this weekend. As mentioned previously, most of the forecasting guides show that Irma will start heading north this weekend. The strength and breadth of the high Bermuda Azores on the Atlantic Ocean and the time, depth and location of a dip southward in jet stream near the eastern United States will command where and when there are northward fluctuations occur. More, why U.S. forecasts are uncertain. According to the NHC's recent forecast, the Irma center could be very close to South Florida on Sunday morning, with conditions falling on the day, Saturday, and worsening in southwest Florida on Sunday. However, when the NHC reminds us, the average error in the tracks of the centers of an Atlantic cyclone 4 to 5 days out is between 175 and 225 miles, which can make a difference big in impact. Currently, all residents along the southeastern coast and the Gulf Coast, including Florida, Georgia and the Carolinas, must closely monitor the progress of Irma. In addition, Irma's wind field will be enormous, so dangerous surf and coastal flooding will likely exist on the entire southeastern U.S. coast, even in central Irma over the weekend. No matter what the future for Irma's path and intensity, the NHC advises everyone in the storm-prone areas needs to make sure they plan their storms in place, because we are near peak of the season. Forecast: Leeward Islands, Puerto Rico, Hispaniola, Cuba, Bahamas. Leeward Islands. Irma will strike directly into the northern islands of Leeward on Wednesday morning as a Category 5 hurricane, the strongest to beat the area since Lenis in 1999. The islands are more likely to be directly affected by Irma's eyewall: Barbuda, St. Barthélemy, St. Martin and Anguilla. The winds are destructive, capable of destroying trees, prolonged power failure, and structural damage. Flooding due to storm surges, high surf and runoff will also be a danger, and heavy rainfall may contribute to floods and landslides. The NHC said that a hurricane that rises 7 to 11 feet above normal water levels is possible in the northernmost Leeward Islands near and north of the monitoring center. Shockwaves will climb to the top of the mountain, potentially causing further damage and coastal erosion. Total rainfall in the Leeward Islands can total a total of 8 to 12 inches, with 20 inches local at points, especially at high points. Conditions to improve on Wednesday night. Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. It would be a very close call for Irma's eyewall, which contains the highest winds. The most destructive will track the Virgin Islands and northern Puerto Rico. Regardless of the storm surge, 74 miles per hour expected in the storm warning area late Wednesday, with strong winds, 39 knots, starting Wednesday. NHCs say a hurricane that rises 7 to 11 feet above normal water levels is possible in the Virgin Islands, with the exception of St. Croix. In addition, there may be a 3 to 5 foot storm along the northern coast of Puerto Rico, with waves 1 to 2 feet along the southern coast of Puerto Rico and St. Croix. Heavy rainfall can also affect Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, which can lead to floods and landslides. Rainfall can be up to 4 to 10 inches, with about 15 inches in place. Conditions should improve rapidly on Thursday morning. The worst affected countries near the center are the northern coasts of the Dominican Republic and Haiti, the Turks and Caicos, the southeastern Bahamas and areas near the northern coast of Cuba. Threats to life will appear in the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos Islands on Thursday, with some of the islands in this archipelago flooded 15 to 20 feet above normal tide. This decline will come with destructive waves. It is possible Irma will land on Cuba's northern coast late Friday afternoon or Saturday because of a major storm. Storm conditions will be possible along the coast, and a few miles inland if Irma landings. Residents and visitors in these areas should continue to monitor Irma's progress and prepare for a direct blow.